Welcome, everyone, to Stan Morris Field in Wayne, Nebraska. It's time for National Stole at the Wayne America Fly-In. It's the National Stole Circuit's first ever appearance here. All told, 42 Stole pilots from all over the country have flown here for the rare opportunity to fly in both of the leading Stole competitions, that's Stole Drag and National Stole. Want to take a look at your sectional today? It's KLCG, that's Lima, Charlie, Golf. We're competing today on runway 13. It's 2,070 feet of dusty turf in good condition. That's 120 feet wide. Weather this weekend looks good but challenging with gusty crosswinds in the forecast. An incredibly stacked field this weekend, particularly in the touring and sport classes. And there's lots of Stole legends here this weekend. Steve Henry, Hal Stockman, Warren Grobelar, Jeff Cole, Austin Clemens, Jaden Newman, Kyle Bushman, and more. They're all here. Keep an eye on Dan Reynolds, fresh off his impressive numbers at Valdez. And also, watch for hometown favorite Colin Kaniva to put in some real work. He knows the fields and sandbars around here, but will it help him on the turf? We're just about cleared for takeoff. The pattern is clear. The line is painted. Let's kick this thing off. That's right, everybody. It is time to get pumped, get excited for the finals here at Wayne America Fly-In for National Stole. I'm looking at the beautiful crowd braving the winds right now. They're all ready to go. Everybody wave. We can see you. For the viewers at home, wave to the cameras. That's right. We're ready for some awesome Stole action. If you didn't know, my name is Ryan Dombrowski. You can find me all over the internet as Super Arrow. And I'm excited to bring this to you from the studio, but in the Wayne, at Wayne, my good friend Corey Robin is on the ground, ready to go and tell us more about what's happening play by play. We are back here in Wayne, Nebraska for the Wayne America Fly-In National Stole, getting exciting already here at the finals with the touring class wrapping up with those last minute place changes, and now we are headed over to the rookie class. So the rookie class, really exciting new addition this season. Basically, it's a low stress environment for folks who are new to National Stole to come in, give a little air under their wings, get a little turf under their wheels, and to get coached by some of the more seasoned pilots. And we saw a really exciting qualifier with the rookie class yesterday. We've got a trio of Hewitts family all flying in the rookie class. We've got Rod Hewitt in the Rands S7, Kevin Dugan in a Piper J3, really getting a lot out of that J3 Cub there. Alan Hewitt in the 172, John McCardle in a Maul, very classic, storied Bush plane there. It's fun to watch John fly. And Stephen Hewitt is actually flying in the same Rands S7 as his son, Rod. And we saw them fly yesterday. And the story that we had yesterday was we're wondering, between the two of them, father and son, who would put down the lower numbers. And it was tight. 10 feet separating father and son, with Rod taking it.
Yeah, this is a really exciting class for me. And don't let the rookie name on the class fool you. We have competitors here. I had an opportunity to talk to the Hewitts, and they are competitive with each other. I love their story, father and son coming out to Wayne, Nebraska, competing for the first time, and all the wonderful things, family coming together. This is what Stole is all about. So I want to actually extend an invitation for you all to come out and participate in our events. Come out in person, come out online. We want you to be a part of the family. And these guys are doing it. And that's what this rookie class really represents, is these are the people that have taken us up on that invitation, and they're out here for the first time competing. But these are skilled aviators. These guys have all gone through the training camps. These guys have all gone through the practices. And we're going to see some good competition in this round here, Ryan.
Absolutely. And let's actually take a look at some of those practices right now. We've got a little video we can run about practicing in the rookie class.
My name's Alan Hewitt. I'm from Renton, Washington. The airplane's stationed out of Auburn, Washington. And we're flying a 57 straight tail 172. Factory Continental 300 with 145 horse. If I finish the day, I'll be happy. So, you know, if I finish last, it's a win. If I have a good time, it's a win. I'm not expecting anything, so I won't be disappointed. You know, the plane's an old classic, just like its owner.
I'm Rod Hewitt. This is my dad, Steve Hewitt, world's greatest pilot, CFI, II.
Yeah.
What else do you have? You got them all.
ATP, multi-engine, land and sea.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? Okay.
But nobody wants to hear about that boring stuff. We're here to win. We're gonna win. Take note of this thing. This is the winning plane here.
Oh yeah, we flew in from Auburn, Washington, the Seattle area, just outside of SeaTac a little ways. We got the team Hewitt here. My brother, Alan Hewitt, in the red 172 right behind us there. I sold my son on his 16th birthday, what, 30-some years
Whoa,
ago.
don't tell him how old I am.
And then he got into cars, and we bought a 210 for fast flying, and this little toy airplane here for these contests and slow flying and river bars and such, beaches. So it's a lot of fun. Everybody should try it.
So that was a little intro into the rookie class, and I'm noticing something, and I don't know I don't know why. I think Rod's allergic to shirts. He's never wearing a shirt. I've never seen him with a shirt on. I don't know what's up with that. I wonder if his dad likes the plane all sweaty for him. That was maybe a little mean. I can't walk around with a shirt off like that. So, Rod, much respect to you and your shirtless wonders. Let's get into the rookie class. It's going to be an exciting one. Like we mentioned, we've got Rod Hewitt in that Rans S7. We've got a J3 Cub flying with Kevin Dugan in the pilot seat. That one's going to be great. We're just a few minutes away before we kick things off, and I thought it would be a good time to chat about some of our sponsors. I'm just thinking about those jokes I just made about Rod being shirtless and how lucky I am and that I'm in a studio. He can't find me here. He can't find me. He doesn't know where to find me. Let's talk about some of our sponsors. FlightHelmet.com. We've got to thank them for all of their support. FlightHelmet.com specializes in the sales and service of flight helmets, flight helmet communications equipment, flight clothing, and safety and survival equipment. They're full-service independent flight helmet company that services all makes and models of helmet. So you can fly with safety and comfort and leave the noise behind at FlightHelmet.com. You can see a sample of a FlightHelmet.com helmet on display at the merch booth. By the way, go check out that merch booth. Now's a great time in between classes. Go check it out. Get yourself, it's under the big tent, the big National STOL tent. You can't miss it. Go check that out. Some great new designs this season, including these neck gaiters that we had. We had them made for Outlaw, I think, because we had all of the dust in the wind in the desert there.
Yeah, and those neck gaiters, Ryan, is
go ahead, Corey.
As far as the merch goes, that neck gaiter is like one of my favorite new add-ons because, you know, they're so comfortable and they keep the sun and the wind off your neck. And I got to tell you, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this new edition of the merch. Thank you, National STOL.
Yeah, they're super, super comfy for sure. Let's also really quickly talk about Sarasota Avionics. They're a long-term partner of National STOL. They provide a lot of the excellent prizes. They're your authorized Garmin dealer with the #1 aircraft avionics installing dealer in the nation for panel mount GPS avionics systems. That is a mouthful, but it is so true and so important for all the types of flying that everyone does. Upfront pricing, superior service, expert consults. This is your one-stop shop for your next avionics upgrade. They provide that Garmin the one that everyone seems to be really excited about is this USB charger that can go in the panel of your aircraft. So you can charge all of your devices on there, even very modern, very, very exciting. So that's Sarasota Avionics. Can't thank them enough for their help. Next one, Corey, that I want to talk about before we kick off this rookie class is USA Trailers Direct. You are actually sitting in a trailer by USA Trailers Direct. They provided that trailer. They donated the magic. Production happens. There's Corey there in the trailer looking super comfy. And our production staff is on the other side of that wall with a big screen. Look at that. They're just like, yeah, what's up, everybody in there? Good to see them. You got to see all the screens there. And they're bragging to me right now in my ears that they have air conditioning in there as well. So good for them. So thank you to USA Trailers Direct for all of their support of National STOL. You can check them out in Colorado, Oklahoma, and Georgia. Now, it's time for the rookie class. The one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Corey, is that the rookie class, once you win this class, you can't be in it ever again.
Absolutely. Now we have the green flag. And now today we did have our first opportunity to see the wing walkers. We'll see those guys again as they helped Rod get out there and safely taxi out to the line. You're right, Insane Panda 6405. The wind is insane. These guys are in light airplanes. So Rod's going to have his handful, but it's going to make his takeoffs really short. There is a fantastic. Absolutely.
You heard Rod on that video package. He was very confident, and it looks, at least so far in the early stages of the rookie class, he has every right to be. Now, here is our friend in the J3 Cub, Kevin, 1942 design, kind of the golden era of aviation. Let's see what he can do.
I just love the classic lines. Look at the cowling on there. That's the original J3 style cowling. I thought, what would it be like if I kind of made that style of cowling for my Carbon Cub with the cylinders hanging out there? It would just look really cool. But I love the classic design, and I just love that Kevin brought a classic J3 out to the competition today. He's got such a lightweight airframe. He actually performs quite well and is very competitive in the rookie class.
Seeing some initial scores right now. Rod Hewitt's takeoff, 61 feet. That's right in line with what he was doing yesterday. He was putting down like professional scores on
Absolutely.
his first series last year. Or yesterday, not last year. Wow.
It's been a long day, Ryan. Here comes Rod on his short final approach. Nice and low. He's starting to get things under control and stabilized. Got a little bit of time to do that. You can see that as he slows the aircraft down, he's going to be playing with those winds. And you can see the light weight of these aircraft compared to the heavier aircraft we saw earlier. And it's getting real out there. Beautiful performance there by Rod in that one. Sub 75 feet, probably around 60 feet there. That's very consistent in line with his takeoff. That is fantastic.
Yeah, combined score of 137 feet. That would be competitive, I think, even in the sport class. So that, I'm guessing, is where Rod's going to head next after his little foray in the rookie class here. Now, here comes Kevin in that J3.
Yeah. One of the things I've thought about, Ryan, is we have a little time here for Kevin to come in, is that sport class is getting a little bit big. So we might start to see if we, I hope to see that we get some subclasses. So maybe a sport gold, sport silver, sport bronze someday as the sport gets a little bit bigger. I would be really excited to see this. Kevin is hanging it on the prop. I don't know that I've ever seen a J3 do a full stall 5 foot above the ground landing, but that is awesome. Great landing by Kevin Dugan in that J3 Cub.
Wow, watch that in the replay, slow-mo, dropping it in like it's hot. 1940s are calling, and they are back.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You know, and the difference is you'll notice Kevin's flying from the back seat in that classic J3. In the more modern, the Super Cubs, we fly him from the front seat. So there's some different characteristics of those aircraft. You can see the wing walker helping Rod as we watch another replay of Kevin's performance. But that's safety. The race officials out here helping everybody get there on the starting line. The winds are quite intense today, and so that's why you're seeing the wing walkers out there holding on to the wing of the airplane, just keeping them, you know, safe and able to turn around very, very easily. As Rod lines up for his next round, I can only hope that he's going to push a little bit harder now that he has a score on the board, and quite a really good one. I'm really looking forward to see how he performs here.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens between him and his dad. Yesterday, there was a little bit of a delay because they had a mechanical issue with this airplane. One of the brakes had gone out, so Steve had to repair it and then enter the competition a little later. Here Rod goes now.
Oh, fantastic. Whoa. And you know, quite honestly, I think he pulled it just slightly late. He could have had a little bit shorter takeoff there, but very fantastic takeoff for Rod Hewitt. You could tell that he maybe pulled a little late because his tail wheel did not come even close to the ground, and his mains just came right off. So he had a little bit of extra speed there. Didn't need the angle of attack normally that you'd be required. So a little bit longer takeoff there for Rod.
There's the J3 off the ground with Kevin. First takeoff, 174 feet. Let's see if he bested that with this second takeoff.
Oh, I think he did for sure.
147 feet.
Absolutely, yeah, Ryan. That's a great improvement for Kevin there.
See Rod now turning base to final to your left, folks, if you're in the crowd. And we've been really impressed. I think, Corey, both you and I have been really impressed with seeing all the Rands S7s at Wayne America. They're really putting in work and, you know, kind of a storied history as a home-built design and just really holding up.
You know, that's one of the things I love about the Rands and this particular category of home-built experimental aircraft is these are affordable for the for the cost of like your a basic wakeboarding or a bass fishing boat. You can get into an aircraft and come out here at locations like Wayne America and compete, but also you can get out into the wild and experience nature, get out in the backcountry, and also travel in it. They're just great airplanes. One of the funny things about the Rands, especially the S7, it wasn't designed for backcountry. It just is such a great aviation platform that it just fits so well with our culture and our STOL philosophies, I guess.
And here we go for a replay of Rod's landing there. It was a little sporty. You've got Lexi Duncan watching from the line, and he's dropping that right main on first, but it was good. He's got the checkered flag up there.
Yeah, and
Lexi's fun to watch as she taxis everyone up to the takeoff land.
Yeah, he got a 52-foot landing there, Rod did. So great improvement, improved from 75 feet. So his combined score is coming down. Here comes Kevin.
One of the more challenging things about the J3 Cub is that unless he's modified it, typically the brakes are heel brakes, correct?
Yeah, and the heel brakes work really good on the J3. I learned in one. It is a little bit of a learning curve to transition from heel brakes to toe brakes, but they're quite effective. They do a great job.
It's more, the learning curve is mostly about getting used to using your heels, kicking your heels out to use the brakes.
Yeah, because, you know, when I don't, in my Carbon Cub, if I don't want to use the brakes, I make sure I'm using my heels to activate the rudder. And it's a completely different story in the J3. You want to use your toes when you don't want to use the brakes. And so it's just different. They're just as effective, just as easy to use. But, you know, there's that whole transition thing where you get used to one way of doing something, so maybe the other way might be a little bit more difficult to you. And I think that's more or less just a difference. Okay, and here goes the third round for Rod. He's continuously improving and really excited to see what he's able to do next. And it's kind of fun to see two different competitors fly the same aircraft in the competition because it's kind of an equalizer, isn't it?
Whoa, that was incredible. Yeah, I mean I think you know, if we could get someone to come in and sponsor you know, like 6 identical aircraft, we could have a formula class, and that'd be
absolutely
really
amazing. You know, if one of these manufacturers wanted to partner with National STOL on that, I think that would be an excellent conversation to have. And, you know, it would be fantastic to see that because then you're looking at exclusively pilot skill. Good performance for all 3 takeoffs for Rod. Very consistent, 62 feet, 70 feet, and then a 61 on that last one. Same thing for Kevin. Very consistent performance as well. Within, you know, 20, 30 feet on all his takeoffs and landings. This is really good rookie class action here today.
You know, I was thinking about what we were talking about with that formula class, Corey, and at Swamp STOL, we kind of had that with the Legend aircraft MOACs. We had just MOAC after MOAC after MOAC, and so it was the planes were more or less identical, and the pilots were putting in work in those Legend aircraft. So that was maybe a good proof of concept for that sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds, you know, I really like the idea of an aircraft manufacturer kind of stepping up to the table and helping us out and doing a formula class. I think it's a fantastic idea, and let's just keep that conversation going, so to speak, so we can perk some ears in the industry. Here comes Rod. He had a great takeoff, and it looks like he's going to have a great landing as well, kind of cheating a little bit across the runway into the wind. That, I don't know if the other competitors are watching, but I think that's very smart. And I'm watching Steve Hewitt make his way to the pits to begin his run because he's coming up next in that same aircraft.
And just because I need to eat a little crow here, Rod is actually wearing a shirt now while he's flying his plane. So I just want to point that out. Rod, I'm sorry. He's going to watch this later. He's going to come to my house.
Oh, I had to mute my microphone. I had to let out a laugh.
Okay,
you know, he was, you know, I was walking through the pits last night and, you know, he's cleaning his airplane. Every time I walk by, he's cleaning his airplane with his shirt off. So you're not wrong.
Okay, thanks for backing me up.
Here comes Kevin. Beautiful J3 Cub, just waxing nostalgic as he comes in for his final landing. Fantastic performance by Kevin Dugan in his very first STOL competition. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these first 2 pilots a round of applause for such a great job, keeping it safe, having a lot of fun, and getting out and competing for their first time.
And I love seeing a J3 like being put to work like this. I think you know, there's a lot of J3s end up being hangar queens, right? They get restored and they get like a beautiful wood prop put on the front, and they don't get flown as much as they deserve. And so it's just really great to see a J3 Cub being flown in a competition like this. We are going to reset for now the second heat of the rookie class. So now you're going to see that same Rans S7 is going to come back with Rod's dad, Steven, in it. Rob's uncle, Alan Hewitt, is going to be in that Cessna 172, and John McCardle in the Maul M5, a little bit of a larger airplane. He's going to be competing as well in this heat of the rookie class.
Super fun. Those of you that are on live online, we're watching Rod and Steven make that plane change in that Rans S7. Didn't even turn the engine off. That's probably wise. It is a warm day today, and if you turn those engines off, sometimes they have a tendency to vaporize the fuel in the fuel line, so just keep it going and let's get out and compete. As we look at this beautiful, I love the classic airplanes. And when I say beautiful, looking at the Cessna 172, I'm not necessarily, you know, I love airplanes, but look at the straight tail on it. The classic lines of the straight tail Cessna. I'm just such a huge fan of that over the new modern swept tail of the Cessnas. I just really just love that straight tail.
Yeah, I love the way it looks too. It's got that like, that 50s charm.
Yeah, it reminds you of the old Cessna ads when they were hand-drawn cartoons. Just really fun time in our aviation history.
And he's on the roll now. That's Alan Hewitt in the 172.
Yep, without delay, he's in the air. There's a little bit of a pause going on right now. I'm just waiting to hear back from our race officials as to what might be going on. So bear with us, folks, for a couple of minutes as we try to figure out what's going on with this pause.
Okay, so I'm hearing back now that was a bit of a false start there for Alan Hewitt. So they're going to reset the field, and so he can come in and land, and then we'll get this all going. So kind of launched maybe before he was supposed to there, before we had the all clear from the air bosses, but that's okay. We'll get him back recovered, and we will reset these other two airplanes.
So that brings a question. How does that play into the rules? I didn't see the green flag. I know this is the rookie class, and Alan took off prematurely. How does that affect him in the competition, or does it? Or do we know?
I just heard in my ear they said 5-yard penalty, still first down, but that's the wrong sport.
Absolutely. It's very, very important that we listen to the air boss and follow his instructions. They're there for our safety. So I'm sure that the air boss will have, at the very least, some commentary.
Okay, so I think because it's the rookie class, I think there's going to be a little bit of leniency here. I think anyone else, what I'm hearing is anyone else in another class, they would probably DQ that run. But because it's the rookie class, there's a little bit of leniency. So he's just been recovered safely and is going to taxi back into position to be formally released. And I guess Alan gets a little extra practice as he comes back around. And that's okay. That's part of why this class exists, is to give everyone a little bit of experience and to understand what's going on.
Absolutely. This is Stoll School. That's what the rookie class is all about. It's all about their learning and their progression and getting them to the point where they can move into the other classes with the utmost of safety, because safety is obviously paramount when it comes to anything in aviation, this competition being no different. So that is always the first and the last thing on all of our minds as we organize and put on these events. And that's why we had him come around and land. Rather than counting that one, we've got to stick to the rules. We've got to keep things safe. So we had him come around. Let's reset. Let's get everybody lined back up. Takes a little bit of a time to do that, but in an abundance of caution, that's why we're doing it. But I got to tell you, I'm imagining in the back of my head what might be going around the campfire tonight. You're
Yeah, it
here
sounds
we
like
go,
there's a
John.
little bit of confusion between him and being positioned on the line and all this stuff. There's a little bit of responsibility that goes with being the first, the number one in your heat. So no
Absolutely.
harm, no foul there, and he'll get to get back into the competition.
Absolutely. And this beautiful 1978 Maul M5 has been putting in a lot of practice all week long. Fantastic pilot. John McCardle putting in a pretty good takeoff there. Now, this is a cross-country machine. This is one of the workhorses of the backcountry, the Maul M5. You can load it up with everything, including your kitchen sink. I've flown into places, the iconic locations in Idaho and Montana. One of my favorite places, Johnson Creek, Idaho. One of my friends has a Maul M5, and he literally brings a ton of camping gear in that Maul and 2 dogs. It's amazing how fast and how performance is a part of the game when you're buying something like a Maul. Travels really well, lands nice and short, takes off nice and short. It's an easy aircraft to fly. I'm just a big fan of the Maul. Also a big fan of the Cessna 172 that Alan's bringing here on final.
I just want to give another shout out to the Maul story you were just talking about. Kind of exciting. John McCardle, who's flying that Maul, so he'll be the next aircraft to land after this 172, had received his pilot's license the week of last year's Wayne America event. So he's been 1 year now as a private pilot and finding his own footing as a STOL pilot. So really exciting to see him compete as we watch Alan on short final here.
That's a good landing for Alan, breaking very, very aggressively. Sub 225, 230 feet landing, I would assume. His takeoff came in at about 184 feet, so that's going to be very, very good for a Cessna 172. Under 400 feet is fantastic for a score for that aircraft type. Now we're going to watch John McCardle come in that Maul. Like we were talking about before, very capable aircraft. One of our fellow competitors, Kathy Page, is one of his instructors, and she actually, when he purchased this aircraft, she traveled with him to bring it back home. So there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of cooperation going on, a lot of mentoring going on, with these newer pilots. Like you said, him being in the game only 1 year. Oh, and he brings it in a little too low and scratches. That's okay, because he does have 2 more opportunities.
And now should be turning base to final, I think. We'll see Stephen
Absolutely.
Hewitt, father of Rod Hewitt, flying that same Rands S7. They were just feet apart, pretty close yesterday. So we'll see now in the finals what they can do. Establish who wins. And it's funny, when I was a kid, I always wanted to beat my dad. Now that I'm a dad, I have different feelings, about that. I think I'm the one that I want to get beaten by my kids.
Wouldn't that be a thing? Now he's coming in very aggressively, and it cost him. But look at that landing. He was really pushing hard. Fantastic attempt, but ultimately a scratch. And I have to assume there were some words exchanged between Rod and Steven as they exchanged aircraft that might have put a little bit of pressure on Steven, because Rod put in some fantastic numbers in his flying today.
As we reset for our next round, let's talk about our friends over at Rugged Radios. So Rugged Radios, you see them all over National STOL. Our air bosses, our production staff, our line judges, they all use Rugged Radios. They've got a background in off-roading and motorsport racing, and now aircraft radios as well. So We appreciate their help. They're helping us keep National Stoll running safely, efficiently, and accurately. And there's Lexi Duncan getting our friend Alan in the 172 up to the line and ready to go. Currently in
One of the
third
things I'm
place with
noticing here
392.
today, I apologize, Ryan. One of the things I'm noticing here today is it feels like the wind conditions are actually calming down slightly from earlier today. It's pretty steady right now, but right as I say that, a big gust comes in as Alan starts his takeoff roll. That might actually help him. Look at that right wing coming up. That might have been a big gust there.
Whoa,
As
buddy.
he just lumbers that airplane into the air. That was a very interesting takeoff. I'd really like to talk to him and see what happened there. I just
That was sporty.
it was an interesting one for sure. A left and a right. It just it's very rare to see that, quite honestly, in the Stoll competitions. It's usually one or the other and you recover, but here comes the Maul. What a capable and beautiful airplane the Maul's. It just looks different. The fuselage, very, very distinctive. And
You know,
you're
one
seeing
thing
these
I think
pilots
we're-
go a little bit longer because of these more calm wind conditions.
I was actually just about to ask you about that, Corey. You know, one thing we're seeing is a little bit longer distances. We're also seeing, I think, our rookies getting used to the idea of, you know, they're getting off the ground in max performance and then they're in that ground effect. And as they nurse those flaps down, they're losing lift. And you see them start to settle back down. I imagine that's something that is a bit of a new feeling if you're new to Stoll flying. Whoa, no settling down there, though. Jeez.
Absolutely not. He has no shortage of the thing we call horsepower and power to weight ratio in that Rans S7. And yeah, we're looking at a difference, a pretty big difference in takeoffs between Alan's first and second takeoff. His first one was only 184 feet, but the contrast between the second one, almost 100 feet, and he took in 279 feet for that second takeoff. So he's got a little bit of pressure on him on this landing to perform, but here comes the wind again. So it's just starting to be variable. Nice stabilized approach as Alan makes his way to the line. You're seeing that beautiful red Cessna 172 with the straight tail coming on home. And that's a good landing.
Got those brakes totally locked up.
Absolutely. I think he might be happy with that one. That looks like it might be very close to his previous landing. Very consistent performance by Alan there. Maybe quite a bit shorter, actually.
His previous landing was 208 feet. We'll see what this one comes in from the judges.
The funny thing is, 154 feet, quite an improvement actually for Alan. That's good news for him as he keeps putting his numbers up on the score. And here comes John McCardle in the Maul M5. He put in a scratch on the last one, so he's looking to get on the board here. Okay, we're watching his energy management here, starting to get a little sporty in the pitch attitude. And, ooh, we're getting an I don't know from the line judge, so we're going to wait for the replay to see if that was a good one. But it looked like a nice short landing. Ooh, I don't know. That's a hard one.
Close one.
Oh, that is about as close as it gets on the replay. I don't even know. Too close to call. I'm going to wait. The officials have put in a score of 177, so it looks like they're going to count it. Maybe. Oh no, they just scratched
No,
it.
it just got updated to a scratch.
Oh,
We
that's a
watched it
heartbreaker
frame
for
by
John.
frame, even frame by frame. I couldn't really tell. I think that was a tough call. Imagine
And
that was a tough call in
And
the booth.
Steven pushing very hard once again,
Oh.
and another scratch.
Oh.
The conditions definitely playing a factor for our rookies here today. We're watching Steve really push hard. He's got his competition with his son Rod, and he is pushing, and he's got 2 scratches in a row, as does John McCardle. Alan Hewitt, the only one on the board so far in this second round in the rookie class. That puts him on the board in 3rd place.
And this will be interesting. Now we have something similar to what just happened in the touring class. It all is coming down to this final round because we don't really know where people will end up because we have these scratches from 2/3 of the competitors in this heat. So if Steven can land after the line, again, conditions very challenging. If he can land after the line, he's putting down scores that would put him into 2nd place.
And we can't forget about John McCardle as well. Kevin Dugan putting in 295 feet. And I have to assume that Maul M5 can be pushed just a little bit more. But his takeoffs coming in at 278, 289. We've got a little bit of an issue with his acceleration. Maybe he's not able to get it with that takeoff. But we've got to get him on the board at the very least, right? And then Steven, like what you said, he has an opportunity here to get into the leaderboard. But again, 2 scratches in a row is not going to do it. So his last chance right here, right now, it's got to be first on his mind. I've got to get a score. So maybe he's going to let up a little bit. He's got to get something on the board. But even, I mean, he's doing so good. These landings, even though he's scratching, he's only rolling a few feet. Reminds me of the likes of Hal Stockman. I think maybe some coaching might be in order.
And we've got Alan on the line now, and remember his last takeoff, a little sporty. So we'll see if that has, any impact on his performance this time around. I also heard from Race Control just now that because it is rookie class, normally Race Control doesn't communicate scores back to the pilots, but they actually went on and said, like, hey guys, like, don't scratch. Don't scratch this time. Which is, I'm sure they knew they scratched, but they appreciated that feedback in.
Yeah, that's really good. Good feedback. Like I said, this is rookie school for these guys, and Alan putting in a very good takeoff there. Had some good wind conditions with his takeoff. His best takeoff of the day, in fact, at 172 feet in that beautiful red 172. Now I'm rooting for John McCardle here to put in his best takeoff of the day as well. Wind right down the runway, so it should be a good one. Maybe a little bit too early on the pole there. I don't know what happened, if he had a little lull in the gusting situation there, but beautiful takeoff nonetheless. But he did his best takeoff of the, his best takeoff of the day at 273 feet. Good for him. I love to see these rookies constantly improve. And Stephen Hewitt, let's listen to his engine. Woo! Horsepower, baby. So with those first DQs, he's got to have that on his mind right about now as he's starting to set up for his landing. So I think Steven will come around the patch here and put in a good score. Here comes Alan Hewitt on a long final out there, given plenty of space. And he also had the best takeoff of his round here at 172 feet. So he also has an opportunity to improve. But he does have his work cut out for him, over 100 feet to make up to catch Kevin Dugan. But then don't forget, Stephen Hewitt might actually knock him off the podium. Beautiful stabilized approach as Alan comes in and makes for the line. Beautiful. That's a good landing. We'll see what it comes down to as far as his score. Very consistent. Looks about the same distance as his other landings. So I think he might be happy with his performance here today as a rookie. Great showing. Congratulations to Alan Hewitt for putting in a great performance in that 172 in the rookie class.
And one of the other things they're competing for as we wrap up this rookie class is not only is the right to say, well, you can't be a rookie anymore. It's also a gift certificate from McFarland Aviation. $250 from McFarland Aviation provided to the first place rookie.
Absolutely. And one of these things about our sponsors that I'd like to mention as John makes his way to the line is these guys are supporting this content for you, bringing it to you in person and also online. So please take an opportunity as we read out these sponsor names to you, solicit their business, give them your money so that we can continue to put on these wonderful competitions and events for you, both online and in person. It's fantastic. Now, John put in a pretty good landing there. Let's see what Steven can do because Rod is watching. This is his only and final chance to get on the board and compete with his son. There he goes. Very conservative approach there. You could tell that he had it first and foremost on his mind. Easily 3 or 4 times longer than his previous attempts, but he's on the board.
His takeoff was short at 65 feet. You can see we're just waiting for the scores to update here. His son, best score, 122. It's within striking distance.
$117. Yeah. Good
So
job for
combined
those
score
guys.
182 for Steve. So Rod and Steve will take first and second place, father-son duo in that Rands S7. And then third place, the J3 Cub, which makes me so happy. Makes me so happy to see a J3 on the podium in the rookie class piloted by Kevin Dugan. So that is just super awesome and exciting to see. And that was a really exciting rookie class. A lot of learning happening, a lot of people putting in work and learning how to do this. And, you know, a little sporty at times, but that's what you came to watch, right?
Absolutely. It's such a fun class to see, especially knowing that this is their first time. These guys have been fighting the nerves all week as they've gone through their rookie schools. And, you know, congratulations to all these pilots, with Rod coming in first place with a total score of 122 feet. Stephen Hewitt coming in, pushing really hard, but squeaking in a second place performance at 182 feet. Kevin Dugan in the classic, the J3 Cub at 295 feet. That's our top 3. Alan Hewitt, 354 in fourth place, and John McCardle, 603 feet in the Maul M5. Congratulations to all 5 of our competitors in the rookie class. You have now competed in your National STOL competition.
At Wayne America for National STOL, it has been so intense. So many scratches, so many heartbreaks, so many upsets in the last final round. We cannot thank you enough. Thank you very much to all of you in the stands. Thank you very much to all of you viewing at home. And thank you very much to, you can see the credits rolling right here, the crew, the volunteers, everyone who makes this possible, including all of the sponsors that we've been talking about all day. Congratulations to the competitors. What an exciting time. Corey, I can't thank you enough for joining me on the mic this weekend. It's been an absolute pleasure. Where can people find you?
You can find me all over social media, but primarily on YouTube. My handle on social media is Fly Corey. Thank you so much for coming out. Take care of yourselves.
Well, I can't wait for that, everybody. My name is Ryan Dombrowski. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. You can find me at Super Aero on YouTube and Super Aero Flight on Instagram. Would love to see you there. Come chat about STOL and everything that you love about aviation. Would love to keep the conversation going. We'll see you at the next STOL event coming up in just, I think in July, right? Minnesota's coming up. and then obviously Sodbusters just before Oshkosh. So it's going to be a wild and crazy season. The summer's just getting started. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.